Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. My name is Brianna, this is Coffee, Books, and Bullet Journals, and today I am bringing to you my Contemporary-a-thon TBR. So the Contemporary-a-thon is one of my favorite readathons of the year, and it is hosted by Chelsea from Chelsea Darling Reads, Julie from Pages and Pens, and Natasha from My Reading is On. I have participated in this now for 3 years. This is round 6. This is my 5th round participating in it because I didn't know about it the very first round. So I started in round 2, which was Valentine's Week 2017, and now we're in Valentine's Week 2020. I love this one because it is just a week of reading contemporary books. I love reading contemporary. I'm hoping that this will help me get out of my slump that I've been in for 4.5 weeks, 5 weeks, something like that, because I haven't been reading nearly as much as I would like to. Goodreads actually is telling me that I'm behind on my reading goal, and I don't think that that's ever happened. So that being said, let's talk about the TBR. There are 7 books, there's 7 challenges. I have 7 books picked out. Will I read 7 books? No, not at all. Probably won't happen. In fact, I know it won't. However, I am going to be in Idaho and Wyoming for a couple of days, so that means quality audiobook time, which is fantastic. And I believe at least 2 or 3 of these have audiobooks. So that's good. So let's get started. I do have the challenges here on my iPad, so let's just go ahead and get into it. I'm going to talk to you about the book, or the challenge that I'm using for the book, and then also what other prompts it could fit as well. So the first prompt is to read a book with green on the cover. For that, I am going to be going with Serious Moonlight by Jen Bennett. There is definitely green on that cover, and I don't know a whole lot about this, other than it's set in Washington, and it's got, it's at a hotel, or there's some sort of mystery maybe, I don't even know. This also would fit the prompt for a new to you author, which is the second prompt. So I don't know a whole lot about this book. I do know that the main character was homeschooled, which is really interesting because I was homeschooled, so you don't see a lot of that in books, but she was raised very conservatively, but then she goes and gets a job at this hotel, and I think there's a romance between her and another employee, and then they're trying to uncover this writer's identity. So there's a little bit of a mystery from what I'm gathering. We'll see. Like I said, I have not read anything from Jen Bennett. I think I own probably 90% of her books, and I haven't read any of them, so I'd like to, start that. So this would also work for the new to you author as well. So the second prompt is to read a book from a new to you author. I am going to be reading a middle grade arc that I have in the role of Bree Hutchins, and this is by Nicole Melby, who also wrote Hurricane Season, which is what she's kind of well known for. This book comes out in April 21st, and I do have an arc of it, so I would like to, stay up to date on that. This is a middle grade book about a girl who is in 8th grade, and I believe she's a drama student. I know that there's some LGBT representation in here. She is, it's a coming of age story. She's identifying as queer, on some form of that spectrum. I'm not sure exactly what. And I think her mom is queer as well. So I'm interested to see how this is. Like I said, it doesn't come out until April, but I'm excited about it. This also would fulfill the role of having green on the cover, because there is that little green triangle color background. There we go. The next prompt is to read a book that is a diverse contemporary, keeping in mind that it is Black History Month, and for that I am going to be reading Get a Life, Chloe Brown by Talia Hibbert. This is actually the Literary Alliance group book for the week, or for the month of February, but the majority of us will be reading it in this week of Contemporary-a-thon. This fulfills actually a lot of prompts. It, I think, is a darker, hard-hitting contemporary as well, because she does deal with a chronic illness. It is diverse. Obviously, she's a woman of color. Talia Hibbert is a woman of color. It also has an illustrated cover, which is another one of the prompts that will go over here in a minute. And then it's not a new to me author, but if it was for you, that would also work. The only thing, I think we've discovered that the only thing that this wouldn't cover is a backlist, because it's less than a year old. But there is a little bit of green on the cover as well. It's kind of more turquoise, but you know, turquoise is the color of green. But anyways, this is about a woman who is has a chronic illness and has like this bucket list of things that she wants to do basically before she dies. I'm not sure if it's because she has a health scare or something like that she creates this bucket list. But I love that it says love wasn't on the to-do list. She basically not hires, but gets the help of her landlord, who is a bad boy, to kind of check off some of the things that she wants to do on her bucket list. And I'm assuming falls in love. So anyways, like I said, this is going to be the Literary Alliance group book for the month of February. A lot of us will be reading. There is a Facebook event in the group, and I will link the Facebook group for the Literary Alliance down in the description below if you would like to join and read with us. Okay, the next prompt is to read a backlist book, and that would be a book that has been on your TBR for over a year. This one has been on my TBR for a very long time, long enough that it's actually made it to my TBR closet. Which is like this closet in my bedroom that has bookshelves. This was published in 2011 and somehow has made a resurgence, not necessarily on BookTube, but I'm in a couple of groups for the Pop Sugar Challenge, and people have been talking about books that they've been reading, and one of the prompts is to read a book that only has words on the title, doesn't have like an illustrated cover or like any type of pictures. And a lot of people started talking about this book and how they wanted to read it. And I was like, you know what? I have that book in my closet. I should read it. And so I picked it up, and now I'm like super intrigued to read it. And that is Room by Emma Donoghue. And like I said, this was published in 2011, so it's a very backlist. And it's been on my shelves forever. I don't even know where. I know it had to have been like a thrift store, but I don't know when or where or yeah, I don't know much about it. But this is actually from the perspective of an 5-year-old boy who lives in this room, this 11 by 11 space. And to a 5-year-old Jack, that means that this is home, but it's actually a prison cell. So this also, again, would fulfill the challenge of a book with the darker hard hitting. It does have some green on it. You could call this illustrated because it's like crayon. So again, I don't think it's diverse. Pretty sure it's not. But anyways, yeah, I'm like all of a sudden like super intrigued to read it. So we'll see how it goes. I'm apprehensive because, like I said, it's been in my closet for so long. But everybody that was talking about it in the Facebook group really, really liked it, so I'm excited to pick it up. Now, moving on to the prompt of reading a dark or hard-hitting contemporary. I am going so far outside of my comfort zone for this one. This is a stretch for me, but I'm going to be reading a manga, and I've never read a manga before, but I'm excited to pick it up. That is Not Your Idol Volume 1, and this is about a girl who is part of, I guess, like a K-pop group, and after one of the performances she is actually assaulted, and then she kind of basically shuns her femininity after this and starts dressing like a boy, and it's just going to be like kind of that story of trying to deal with that assault and trying to come to terms with it and grow from that, I guess. It sounded really interesting. It sounded very dark, and then I got a sample of the artwork, and it looked amazing. Obviously, because it is a manga, it does have an illustrated cover, so it could work for that prompt as well. It also could be a new to you author, new to you format, new to you everything. I'm excited about it, and I needed a graphic novel or something short on this list, and I didn't have any graphic novels, and my library stopped using Hoopla, so I don't even have that anymore. That's frustrating, but I gotta find another way to get digital versions of graphic novels, because I'm really sad that I don't have Hoopla anymore. Okay, the next prompt is to read a book with an illustrated cover. Like I said, a lot of these have illustrated covers. It's a huge trend in publishing and art, covers that have been published in the past couple of years. But the book that I chose for I'm really interested in, and that is Yes, No, Maybe So by Becky Albertalli and Aisha Saeed. This is about two people who basically canvass for a local senator or like congressman. Local state senate candidate. It is a young adult novel, but I'm really excited to pick it up. I love books that have behind the scenes politics, especially local politics, or any type of things where it's not the actual like politician that we're talking about, but the people behind the scenes. When I was in high school and college, I did a lot of that, and so it's really kind of cool to see that in books now. I'm also really excited because Tuesday of Contemporary-a-thon will be the New Hampshire primary, so that'll be kind of like very relevant and on point. So this might be the first one that I pick up so that I make sure that I have it finished by Tuesday. The last prompt is to read a book that has been shouted out by somebody in the book community, whether that be BookTube, book blog, Bookstagram, book Twitter, whatever. A lot of these books have been loved by a lot of people. Jen Bennett is someone who is very loved by a lot of people, specifically Chelsea and Julie. Get a Life, Chloe Brown was on so many people's favorite books. I think it came to my attention from Melanie from Melt to the Any, but I know Julie really liked it as well. So most of these will fit, but again, picking 7 books. I went ahead and picked up A Heart in a Body in the World by Deb Coletti. This was also on a lot of people's favorite books, both of 2018 and 2019. I know Natasha from My Reading is Odd really, really loves this. This was actually a Christmas present from my friend Crystal over at Pinkberry Oasis Plans on Instagram, and this is about a girl who there's something that happens at her school or in her community, and she ends up running from Washington State to Washington, D.C. And you don't really know a lot about what happened at the beginning. You kind of discover that as the book goes along. But this is a very powerful book, very obviously it's going to be very dark or hard-hitting. It's also an illustrated cover, so this one will also fit a few prompts. So like I said, my TBR is going to be very fluid. I probably will not get to all 7 of these books. Let's just be honest. But like I said, there is not a single book on here that only fits one prompt. So because of that, it'll be easy to kind of work through different books and eventually hit all 7 prompts. So that is all I have for you today. Let me know down in the comments below what you are reading for Contemporary-a-thon, or if you are participating, let me know what your first book for the readathon is going to be. And that is all I have for you today. If you are new here and you have not yet subscribed, there is a little red button that you can do so down below the video, and all of the links to my social media will be in the description below if you would like to be my friend on any other platform. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye.
Makes this heart beat faster.